So podcast. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to episode. Oh, fuck,
No,
I said I
not
wasn't going to
doing
count them. Right?
episodes.
Okay, I'm not going to count them. To a random episode of the Master and the Noob podcast. Okay, so what's this episode about? Sophie, go. Do podcast things.
Right. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
10.
I hope I have 10 ideas.
Well, okay, let's talk about this first, right? Because Robson was told me about. He asked me the question: do you think that like the book is actually bad, having the notes? And I'm like, yes, because I think it makes me like. I think it was like I was looking at that when I needed to, when it was a gap in the conversation.
Oh, right,
or something.
okay.
I'm looking at that to be like, oh, let's talk about this next thing. And when I've listened back, I think I like moved on too fast from things.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, go on then. 10, go.
10 was placement.
Placement.
Yeah, I wrote placement down. Like placement of tattoos.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like a thing you would want to talk about or not, but it's kind of like a...
Why are you so much higher than me? Make your chair lower. Yours should be lower than me. Why have you got the big back anyway? I need the big back. Oh, that's better, isn't it?
Oh, God.
No. I'm the master, so you have to be lower. Placement. What does placement mean? Where things go on the body.
Is there such a thing as an upside down tattoo?
Yes. I know it's for me, isn't it? So for anyone who doesn't understand this, right, some people get "it's for me" tattoos. They don't. Well, I'm sure someone's got "it's for me" written on them. I considered even calling the studio "it's for me" at one point and just writing it upside down.
Oh, really? That would be good.
But they say like they want like this thing written on their wrist, but they want it so they, it's for me, so they can look at it and go like, "Mom" or whatever. But and it's like I'm not bothered. I'll do it if that's what they really want. But I have to tell them like how I see it.
Right.
At the same time, it's like it doesn't flow with the body. It looks awkward with the body, and almost everyone who's got an "it's for me" tattoo gets asked every day, "Why did you get it done upside down by people?" So it's like if you don't want to get asked that by people, get it the fucking right way around in it. Oh, I should probably not swear because I'm gonna have to beep them all out. That took ages that last time. You don't realise how long this took to edit, by the way. It was like literally 3 years. Almost.
Wasn't that bad?
It felt like 3 years.
I didn't do any of it, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, you tried, didn't you? You tried to do like an intro thing.
Intro. I'll get it at some point.
Yeah, placement. I'm not going to say any names. I will bleep that out though. So this person who I'm not going to name, I saw one time at a tattoo convention, or was it in their studio? I can't remember. Put a tattoo on, like wonky on the leg, just so it looks good for the Instagram photo.
What? Oh, God.
Yeah, and that's when I'm like, oh, that's bullshit, for sure. That is like it's like that. So this is the thing with the problem with that, is that client has to have that on them forever now. Like that's on their body for life. And it's at a jaunty angle just because this last wanted to put it on Instagram and it's definitely going to have been deleted off there by now.
Oh, God.
It's not like it's even staying on the Instagram. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a permanent part of the portfolio because the portfolio changes.
Definitely.
So I think that's just such bullshit that I'm like, right. And then this has led me to, I was doing this anyway, but I think this stronger, that I have to put it in the right place. I have to have it look good on the person. And sometimes that means I don't get a good photo for Instagram. So that like leads me to not post as much. If I get a thing that I know like people are going to be like, scroll past, because people on Instagram are just going, then they go click, and then they're like, oh, I should probably look at the screen if I'm doing this. I saw a lass at a convention. I feel like it was in a different country. I don't know where this convention was now. I feel like it was in a different country, but I can't. Ireland, I think it was, a Galway convention. And she's like hung over, and she's just like she's got like a phone on the table there, and she's like just lying there going scroll, double click, scroll, double click. And I'm like, she doesn't give a fuck about what she's like looking at there. She's I honestly reckon, like, she's a tattooist as well. I reckon she's going, I know that person. And they're all bro likes. She's going, I know that person, double click, don't really care, know that person. And she's like, these are like artists who she would like to get like to know. So she wants her name to pop up on their like notifications.
Really?
This is like speculation again. I think this is just what it looks like. Because people do that shit, don't they?
I thought it was going to be like they're so fried and tired that there's just one molecule of dopamine that
Well,
gets
yeah,
produced in the brain, like,
it's
makes
that as well,
sense.
for sure. But it's like, I like realize at that point, like, the difference, like, and that's when I kind of realize what difference these likes make, and it doesn't really mean nothing. I know it kind of does. It kind of does, because say with sponsorships and things like that, then if you get none, they're not going to be like, oh, advertise our stuff. But like, I don't think you should be doing it for that reason anyway. But
Definitely not changing the tattoo for Instagram.
But yeah, when people don't care, and I realize what I do when I'm looking at stuff. I'll be scrolling, and it's like, if I see something I like, I'm like, wow, look at that, and I'll zoom in, and I'll be like, fuck, that's awesome, I love that little bit down there, and then I scroll past and forget to click like. Like, I'm more likely to get a tattoo from that person than the person who's just going through clicking likes for no reason, I think. But yeah, putting the tattoo in the wrong place just based on your Instagram photo is just fucking bullshit. I really hope I remember all the times I've said this name and like block it. If you think it's you, it is you, even if it's not who I said. Because if you know you're doing bullshit stuff, you know,
oh God, yeah,
you're calling yourself out. By the way, I'm not calling you out if you think it's you.
There was a, when I was at 666 getting a tattoo, I can't remember who mentioned it, but they were saying that there was like I think it was like a painter or a plasterer.
That's to go that way.
Oh, a painter or a plasterer like wanted a tattoo, and it was like script, but he got it upside down all up his forearm because he's like this all day. Like, genuinely.
So it's like, I'm plastering for my child, and he's like, this is it hurts my shoulder right now, but it's okay because I'm going to feed my children with this arm.
Oh, God. I mean, I don't mind like upside down tattoos on the wrist. I think that's kind of
honestly
acceptable.
For me, like, put it upside down on your face if you want. I'm not bothered.
I mean, it is your tattoo. Like,
it's up to you where you get it, but like, I need to tell you, it's the only thing. Like, I think that's our job, really. I've seen some people like a girl who used to work here, refused people getting tattoos, like in like certain places, like say necks and hands and faces and stuff like that. She just wouldn't do them because she doesn't want it on her conscience that she's done this thing, and she's being all like extra righteous about it, right?
Okay.
And then there was like the alternative of that was Tommy Lee Wendner, some German guy who charges proper loads for like these tattoos. He's awesome, but you know what I mean, there's like, you know, there's like a fair price in there. Awesome tattooist though, but he used to love a rant on Facebook. I haven't seen it for ages. I don't know if I unfollowed him for it, but he used to love a rant on Facebook, and one time he wrote something that like I was just like, you know what, he's right. He'd said that like we're tattoo artists who are like, you know, we've got a job to do, I guess, and we've got to make a certain amount of money to pay bills and whatever. He says we're not childminders or like your parents or whatever. We're not your parents. It's not up to us to refuse you a hand tattoo that's going to ruin your life.
Oh, right.
Because it's not our position. And I'm like, yeah, I can see why that's kind of palming the, what's it called? The responsibility off a bit. But I think the responsibility, like, obviously it's somewhere in the middle. It's always something balanced between these two extreme views. I think it's like, you just have to tell them the truth. If you told them the truth, like, are you sure this is definitely where you want it? Because there's a lot of jobs that won't let you come and do the jobs, and then, well, I don't want that job if you don't want this. And it's like, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, you may regret this decision, but I'm happy to do it for you if you want, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think that's the balance. I don't think you should be like, yeah, I'll definitely do it without even questioning. And I don't think you should be like, no, I'm definitely not doing it because you want to feel like you did something good, kind of thing. Because it's like, it's really up to that person. Like, if they have a life lesson that they need to get, and you're not doing it because you think like you're righteous, you're going to actually potentially even hold them back from learning that lesson.
Yeah.
Like, it may be better for them just learn it now than get it lasered off, and then when they're 25, they can go and like get the job that they needed when they were like 18 or whatever. It's
probably like the tattoo artist's responsibility to refuse like, I guess, offensive tattoos or like really ridiculous like swastika on my forehead kind of tattoos. But and as well, hand tattoos aren't like visible tattoos don't seem like they're as an issue as they were. They're not.
And this is another thought I've had about them, is if you want them to not be an issue, you have to kind of do them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the more people, if everyone had tattoos on their face or hands, then all nurses would just have to have them, because we wouldn't have to, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be fine.
If there was no one ready to do that job because you can't have them because of old people might get offended or scared. Like, old people love tattoos, I've noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like just...
You get plenty of old people coming in here.
Yeah, you get plenty of old people. Like, there was a woman in Morrison's the other day who was like, "Hey, look at that." And she's like pulling me like jacket down. And I'm just like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, fine, whatever. Just do it. Not bothered. I know some people find that offensive, but like, you know, it's only a little old one. What you gonna do?
Old people don't mind like touching you, like without asking.
I said something else. I'm like, "Oh, when you're getting your tattoos online," she goes, I'm not going to get any tattoos, me. I'm too old now." And I'm like...
You don't need
to grab my jacket. But at the same time, I'm thinking, you know, she looks a bit frail. She might fall over. Maybe it's for stability. I
think it's kind of cute as well. It is cute.
An old man doing it though, I'd be like, "Mate, get off me now." So maybe.
Oh, whatever. I'll chin you.
Yeah, get off us before I fucking chin you right now. Yes. So what were we talking about? Position, placement. What else was there? Oh, this is another thing. We talked about them Terrys last time on that. Don't show me the list because I'll just use it like I said. I might ask to see it, but placement with them Terrys. You said like, well, how big were they? Mm-hmm. And I've like, again, like for most of my career, I think I've always, even when it takes way more time or effort to do, and you know sometimes it does, I've always made the tattoo fit the person. Like. Maybe right at the beginning when I didn't understand that, I might have done some just like, you know, however it's printed out. Yeah. But I've seen people like go to conventions and they've printed out like a design, a certain size because they want to do it at that size, or, you know, they know they'll get this finished in a day. And then the client turns up and the client's massive. So they just put this like thing on their arm the same size and it looks lost and weird. Right. There's like a size that looks right. There's a size that looks too small. There's a size that looks too big. And there's like a size. And it's a fair like, you can... like it's got a fair bit of leeway over what's the right size, but it needs to look good on the body.
It's kind of an art in itself, really.
What, like placement?
Yeah, trying to get it like to flow with the whole person.
Honestly, I think that is like the point of this job. Like, people are wanting these things because they want them to look good, and if they look weird because they're like too small or the guy's arm's too big or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's another weird thing I've noticed with that. Is when some people, sometimes they'll get like a tattoo in the middle there when they're like 18 or whatever. Then they go and do loads of roids in the gym and get massive. And it's like the tattoo moves round to the front. Right. And it's like, what is that? Is that how that works? I just kind of thought everything would get bigger at the same time, but it seems that it must get bigger from the back or something. So that this genius idea I had years ago of tattooing a baby, so it didn't have to like... didn't have to spend loads of money on tattoos. It grows into it. Wouldn't work, unfortunately. Sorry, babies.
I wonder what would happen if you did a full blackout on a baby.
I think it would just end up like being grey when it was older.
But like, would it be their full body?
It would definitely be traumatised. But
yeah.
Well, let's do it as an experiment. When we have like
anyone's
a secret
got a baby to donate.
Yeah, anyone's got a spare baby. Just give us it. We'll tattoo it black. I'm joking, by the way. Anyone who thinks that we're not joking, anyone who gets offended by things. Songs. Just let us do jokes. Or just don't watch us, innit? That's it, that's fine.
I'm interested to find that out though, because it's like, do you get new skin or does it like stretch or...
I don't know what would happen there. Like, would it be the same as the bicep? It's like, then you find out there's a new patch of skin and it's like, oh, that's where the skin starts, is it? It all spawns from the armpit or something.
The skin, yeah.
That's interesting, that. I wonder. But we're not going to do that experiment, obviously.
It probably would just not stain, because I imagine they're like constantly...
Yeah, because they're like refreshing the skin. And the skin, I learned this recently, it grows like from the inside outwards. So it's always moving like cells outwards kind of thing. Yeah, that's why you like the outside layer can scrape off and it's always like...
right. You only just learnt that.
Yeah. I wondered how it worked for a while, but then recently I learnt it. So I was going to tell you some of the things that we've had said.
Oh, feedback.
Where are we at? Phil Driffield, what did he say? He says, should tattoo some kind of well-known artists, especially ones that have been on TV, to milk their followers. And I'm like, if I genuinely get on with them, I could. I don't think I could do it just for likes or followers, though. Like, I honestly just don't think I could do that. And this is what I was talking to Sarah Splash as well. Sarah Splash is our number one listener from the other podcast.
Bush porn.
Bush porn was one of the episodes of the Thunderton podcast.
Oh, right.
You know, like when you'd find, I don't know if this will have been in your time. You used to find like porn mags in bushes, and
Why?
like in certain, I don't know. I don't know if people dumped them there because they weren't allowed them in their houses. Like I don't know if it was adults doing it. I don't know if it was kids doing it.
Like always just in bushes.
Yeah, like it would be just like you'd go and find you'd find porn mags in bushes sometimes. Or sometimes in where Alan was from, there were like specific bushes where it would just always be.
What?
Like, and it would get replenished and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like pirate treasure.
Before the internet. But you have to open it with a stick though.
Yeah, it's probably got jizz all over it.
Yeah. So yeah, I said the same thing to Sarah about like I don't think I could do it for that reason because I just hate the fakeness, and I understand that like tattooing someone who's been on the telly would get more followers or whatever because you can go like, oh look, we're talking interview with this bloke that you've heard of, but like if that bloke's boring and doesn't get my humour, I'm just like whatever, mate. I'd rather take the piss out of him.
Yeah.
And then what's he called? Dan's creeping past now because he's going for another tab, and he. Oh, I said tab again. Don't worry about it, Dan. It's fine. You've only ruined it, but that's fine. We're not going to judge you for it.
Just put a really long.
We're not going to be able to hear you, so this is going to be weird if you're trying to speak in the background.
Shout.
I've not put that one on. Get in. That's handy, isn't it? Phil. Oh, we'd started talking about like I've got a friend who has actually been on the telly, who used to work here, and he's vegan as well. So could have a vegan on, and then I thought about maybe that thing where like they don't tell you about this, but they sometimes the body takes over. They tell you that they've never dropped off the diet ever once, but their body actually takes over and switches their brain off and makes them go and devour a full rotisserie chicken. I thought about just being like, oh look, I know you're into food, so I've prepared us something, because I know you need to eat. I've prepared us something, and just bring out like a full raw lamb's leg and a grape, and be like, there you go. And he's like, they'll probably just smash the lamb's leg, and I'm like, oh yeah, if I just get a rotisserie chicken and see if I can orchestrate that moment for that moment. They're not going to like that, are they? Sorry, vegans. No offence.
It's full offence, really, isn't it?
No. I'm not judging people. I know that they've got to go through their lessons as well. I did it. I had to do it. So, also, Robson had mentioned the books and wanting to fill the gap. Said that already, Robson, so bro. We've got some comments. Why is this weird? We've got some comments on the YouTube video also. Chris Edwards, he used to work here as well. He said that one deadlift, laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji. Then Darren Inchcliffe, he's a customer of mine. He said, agree with keeping the meth avenue closed like. Very good move, I agree. I agree with that. Someone called Rob Spider 1985 said, started watching but should get the kids ready for school. I'll watch more later on the way to work, then finish after work when I take a post-work dump. Cheers, dudes.
What the fuck?
You're welcome, Rob Spider.
He just mega overshared on that comment.
He did, that's fine. But it's good
Yeah, it's
dump material, isn't it? I guess you can enjoy your dump, Rob.
I love that.
Then Liquid Needle on Instagram said, I would love to get into this podcast, have all kinds of experience behind this. No idea what that means.
Do you know who they are?
Nope. Druckstar, who's called, I think it's Dan Rook. He was a tattooist from York. I've never met him, but I've seen some of his work and it was really good. He wrote, brilliant. The deadlift part had me in tears. Top work. Thanks, Dan. If it is you, by the way. If it's not you, then thanks, Druckstar, innit? Sarah Cassidy said, bravo, that's all. Diz Roulette said, you are my spirit animal. That's me, not you, by the way.
What?
I'm their spirit animal, not you.
Yeah.
And then Chris also said that whole podcast was worth it for that one scene on about the deadlift scene. I rewinded it like 30 times, looking forward to some more Mastering the Noob. So there you go, Chris. Nice. Welcome.
Everyone liked the deadlift.
Oh yeah, and Sarah Cassidy also said not only the deadlift but the awesome workout gear. So I had a t-shirt that said massive cunt on it and I had wellies on. She's like, commit to the fit. What did I just say just now? There was something else I was going to say about that. Oh, I forgot it already. Fine. So yeah, if you like these, if you want to, you know, send us some comments, just put them on in it. Share it and if you like it. Oh shit, we should have said, hey guys, what's going on? If it's going on YouTube.
God, I hate it.
So anything about that makes you want to talk about stuff that we just talked about there? Because I've completely lost my train of thought now because of that. This is the problem. This is what I was saying about that, innit?
What?
With Robson saying about having the notes. Because I've just read notes now and it's just ruined me train of thought.
Well, there was not... Right, well, give us another number and you can have another topic.
Let me look at them and I'll tell you which
said
one.
You didn't want to look at them.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Artists, that's really general.
Is that all you've written down?
Artists, yeah.
Let's choose a different number. You didn't write that down properly. When you write these notes, right, you've got to write like what the point was, or like at least a little like reminder.
I do with all the other ones.
Probably shouldn't be eating cheese on the podcast.
I think like placement probably goes into tattoo mistakes. That's could be a similar topic.
Tattoo mistakes. I've never made one, so how would I be able to talk about that?
Surely you've seen them.
I've seen them. I've seen some mistakes. I know. Oh God, I'm doing computer things. Come on. I know Dan did a good one the other week, didn't he, when he put them 2 northwests on a compass?
Yeah.
My favourite thing about this, though, is that the guy actually wouldn't let him fix it because he thought it was hilarious. That's just like, look, that's the universe looking out there. Like, that's... You know, Dan's got someone watching out from there. But Dan's just, like, gutted about it, but this guy's like...
Yeah.
But he's like, he showed him it beforehand. He's like, can you make sure this is right before we do it? Like, and the guy's like, yeah, perfect, mate, just do it. It's like, you've got to look. You've got to make sure you're looking at it
You
properly.
told me a few stories where, it's like, you tell the customer to look, and it's still wrong.
Yeah, well, I've said this to you recently, I think, but one of my favourite ones was when I worked at Catterick, and it was like, what was it now? There was like some Old English text, and we used to have like the flash on the walls, right? And Old English was like £13 a letter or something like that. That's how it was priced.
That's weird.
It is very weird. It was like, this is how much each letter is. So if you want a name like Gary, you're going to have to times that by 4. And it's like, so this guy had came in to get his daughter's name tattooed on him. And Lee, the guy I used to work with, he doesn't tattoo now. He's a bouncer in a nightclub, I guess. That's the last time I spoke to him. But he'd said to the guy, how do you spell it? Can you write it down? Because I want, you know, if there's a mistake, it should be your fault that it's a mistake, not mine. So the guy's like, yeah, okay. And he wrote it down, and I don't know what the name was. I wish I remembered, but he wrote it down in a weird spelling. And Lee's like, are you sure that's how you spell it, mate? And he's like, yeah, mate. He's like, see, it's not normally spelled like that. And the guy's like, it's my own daughter's name, mate. I wouldn't know how to spell my own daughter's name. He's like, well, that's fine, mate. I'm just checking, you know what I mean? Just need to make sure. Then on the morning of the tattoo, I remember sitting in like the office or whatever, and he made the stencil, and he's like, I'm going to make the stencil of like what I think's the right spelling as well, just in case. So to save time if it is wrong kind of thing. So it's like, okay. And he's made that. Then he went out to like, we had like this little like, what's it called? Like, you know, when the door's like half a door. That was like, you'd come into this room and there would be like just a doorway to like where you go and tattoo, but it was like
half. A saloon door?
Half a door. No, it's like half a door with like a little table on the top of it. That was almost like the reception desk. Was this just this door?
All right.
So he came to that door and he had like the things. He's like, and the lad's in with his girlfriend or wife this time. He goes, right, okay, so mate, before we start, are you sure this is how you spell the name? He goes, yeah, it's me own daughter's name, mate. I would be able to spell it. And she goes, and the lass just goes, no, it's not, you stupid cunt. She goes, it's spelled like this. He's like this? And she's like, yeah, that's how you spell it. And the guy's like, oh, right. So you can't trust them. God. You can't trust them with this shit, man.
How would you not know how? Unless you're just thick.
Yeah, maybe thick. Maybe dyslexic, which I think.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Laziness. No, I don't actually think it's laziness. I'm joking. I think it's like...
not enough fat.
It's not enough fat in your brain. You know your brain's made out of cholesterol, right? Do you know you need to eat loads of cholesterol?
Food can be another topic. It needs to be a topic for another... It needs to be a
what I have
whole
to
other
do...
thing.
No, I don't think I can do a whole episode on food. I think I just have to slowly drip it in. Just like the cholesterol needs to slowly drip into your brain, bro. Just go and get some cholesterol. Eat an egg. Just go and eat an egg now. Eat a full egg raw. Just smash it in. I'll do it now. I'll just go... Give us an egg now. Give us an egg.
I wish we had one.
I do wish
we had one. You do one every episode.
Okay, yeah, okay. Starting from now, I'm going to smash a raw egg in myself every episode. I'm going to go... and suck it out like
I
a
hate it when you
grandma.
suck it.
Well,
I'd rather you just like crack it in.
that'd be worse, I think. You know where that phrase, you don't need to teach your grandma to suck eggs, comes from? Sucking eggs, right? Because you used to have to. You used to know how to do it. Grandmas used to know how to do it. And my nana doesn't know how to do it. And she thinks I'm weird for doing it. Well, why am I healthy then? Why I'm the most healthy one in the family now, even though I'm not even the youngest one?
Yeah,
Is it
thanks,
because
his
I
nana.
Yeah, thanks, his nana. Yeah? What are you going to do about that, nana? Bring it on. I bet she does as well.
Yeah,
She'll slag me off on Facebook now for that. She keeps slagging me off on Facebook.
It's classic nana behaviour.
Well, she's going like, she always says like, I don't like the language you use, like, you're number one boy, but I don't like the stuff you say on that Facebook. Fucking read it then. I'm joking, obviously. You can slag us off if you want, Nana. I'm not going to listen, though. I'll still do my own thing, obviously, because I'm my own guy. None of this relates to tattooing, really, does it?
We're just talking about
Like,
your
no,
nana.
it does. It does, right? Because that's why I'm so fucking good at tattooing.
You tattooed your nana last.
I did tattoo my nana, actually. Yeah, I did it. I've actually tattooed her twice. She was, I don't know about against tattoos, but she thought she'd never get one.
Yeah.
And then at Peter Lee Tattoo Convention, I worked at my first ever convention. And I think this is like, I believe the universe stuff, right? That like, this, I don't know if there's some plan or it's manifestation, maybe both, who knows. But it's had my back a lot of the time. And it's kind of like at this Peter Lee Tattoo Convention, we went to, how did we get that, right? Because we like, how do you get to work conventions? And it's like, why don't we just go, like, because the way to work a convention, and the way that doesn't work, by the way, is to just apply. Just apply, oh yeah, here's some of me work, please let me into your convention. And they're just like, oh, what, another application, is it? From another artist who's okay, is it? And it's like that's not how life works, honestly. So me and Martin, who used to work here, it was his studio, like I think at the time. Yeah, it was his studio still. And we're like, I'm like, we need to work some conventions, mate. And he's like, oh, I don't know if we're ready, or I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, I don't either. But this Peter Lee one, it's like literally 5 miles away. Why don't we just go to their studio and ask? So we drove down to the studio one day and I'm like, hello, like we've come from a tattoo studio up there, just wanted to come and say hello and ask you some advice on how do you get to work a convention? Like, because I know you run one, like, do you have a space, or like, is it like an apply thing, or is it what? And they're like, well, yeah, we're fully booked and we've got like a waiting list. So I'm like, right, okay, that's cool. And waiting list, right? I don't know if I've ever been on a waiting list and got anything, honestly. I've always like bypassed the waiting list. Same with the allotment. But like, so this waiting list, and they were like, oh, like, well, yeah, put us on the waiting list, please. Like, if you don't mind, like, I'd love to do it. And then it's like, oh, this is cool. I like this thing in your studio. I like this. Like, who's these things over there? Who drew this? And it's like, just being yourself, being a normal person. And I've obviously made an impact by going down there and being friendly and all this kind of stuff. So then when they have the cancellation, they ring us first. Even though there's a waiting list of people who's like, please let me work your show. And they're just like, well, that guy was actually up for it. It's not just applying. It's kind of with the manifestation thing and the universe stuff. It's almost like if you're asking for the thing, you've holding this mindset of you don't have the thing, so the universe hears don't have it. Mm-hmm. Where I'm just like, oh, I know what will happen eventually. We'll just go and ask, and like maybe they'll get a cancellation. Maybe like everyone on the list can't make it, so they ask us last, but they don't. They just ask us first. Yeah. Because we're so close, it's easy for us to just turn up last minute, and it's all good. So anyway, then I went to the convention, and at that convention, I'm doing some like tattoos that are, they were all right, but they were like quite big. I was like trying to get this like thing like achieved. I've been watching some Joshua Carlton DVDs. Excuse me. Been watching some Joshua Carlton DVDs, and he's showing you like this technique for doing like realistic stuff. So I was trying some of that at the show. And some other people who have other shows were watching, and they're like, oh, this is pretty impressive. Like, I wouldn't mind, because it's like people are interested in watching what I'm doing. So they're like, oh, I wouldn't mind you coming to our show if you want. This was like a Carlisle show. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. Then I went to the Carlisle show and got offered a Liverpool show. Then at the Liverpool show, I get offered like 2 more shows. And then at them 2 more shows, I get, do you know what I mean? And it just happens from that. All because I went to Peter Lee and just introduced myself and said hello and had a cup of tea. But also at that Peter Lee show, I tattooed my nana. Like, and she was like, I'm like, oh, come on, get a tattoo. I tattooed my dad, actually. I was tattooing my dad at the show as well. I tattooed my friend, then I tattooed my dad a little bit. I was doing a bit on the rhino that he had. That was starting to look pretty cool by that point. So people were interested in that, and they're watching. And then I tattooed my nana, and they loved that. Like, the crowd loved that, because there was like, I had some drawings on the table like that I've been doing. I've been doing like realistic drawings with what's it called, like graphite pencils.
Okay. And
I had one of my nana, but like, because I know she would think it's funny, I chose the worst photo I could find. Like, I got a photo of her with like rollers in and that, like, you know what I mean? No. So like, I'd done that, and people like were like, huh, that's that lady from there, kind of thing. And it's like, my girlfriend at the time, Sam, she was like, oh, that's Nana Mud. That's his nana he's tattooing. They're like, oh, he's tattooing his nana. Look at this, he's tattooing his nana. And then they're like, that goes around like the place, and people are like, oh, they love that. They love that she's getting it done. They love that I'm doing it. I did a little like sunflower with a smiley face on.
Oh.
And then years later, when her husband Peter died, she wanted something like a memorial for him. So, and the tattoo had faded by now. Like, some of the lines had came out, and the colours had faded away. And she wanted a rose, like she'd like the realistic roses. So it's like, I think she'd got that, like, that sunflower there more for me than anything. Like, it's not for her. She didn't really want it. She just like, she's always joked about getting a little sunflower on when I started.
Right.
And on that day, I think she just thought it would be fun. Do you know what I mean? To get it at the convention with all the people around. And it was, I'm sure, part of the reason why, like, my career, like, went, like, you know, moved on, or, you know, took off, I mean.
Right.
And then when I did this rose on her, this realistic rose, like, I did it over the top of that as a cover-up. And people love that again. They love the idea of an old woman getting tattoos, but I think they love, like, this family thing as well.
Yeah.
Like, they love that your nana would get it, kind of thing. It's like, because they all think about what their nana would be like, and it's like, oh, you've got such a cool nana.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because there's so many nanas would be like, oh, no, not me. I'll not get that. But, you know, she's cool. But she's like a kind of, like, she's still got all of her marbles and that, because she's like, I think, honestly, because she likes using her brain, she goes out and does stuff, and she's happy. I think being happy, like, keeps you young, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm the youngest looking out of my whole family. Even though I'm the oldest kid, I genuinely look about 10 years younger than me brother, who's 4 years younger than me.
You can post a picture of him, like.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to get the oldest looking photo of him and the youngest looking photo of me. I might even take a photo from when I was young as well. No, I'll do a photo from, like, well, I can't, from the last podcast. I think I look a bit fatter on this podcast because I've had some grapes.
What? You get that fat in the space of, like, a week?
That's how bad sugar is for you, bro. Bruh. Don't talk about, I'm going to just...
Oh yeah, I was going to say about the whole, like, Peter Lee convention thing. Is, like, getting your foot in the door, would you say that's the same way as getting, like, an apprenticeship as a tattoo artist? Is just like going there? Yeah,
100%. Because I've had so many people, like, send emails with, like, oh, I want to be an apprentice, have you got any space? And it's just like, oh, I'll give them advice every time, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like, that leaves no impression. That leaves the well, it does leave an impression. It leaves the impression that you, like, can't be bothered to go, or you're shy, or, like, you know what I mean, any of these different things. And it's like, none of them are what I'm looking for. When you come here and, like, what was it? Yeah, you come here and, like, make jokes, and it's like, I'm more inclined. Like, honestly, I've taught people whose drawings were bad, but because, like, I got on with the person and they're able to take some of the jokes, like, they get good.
Yeah.
Like, I can teach someone who loves it and I get on with way easier than someone who's, like, an amazing artist who is a prick. And I've tried that also. I end up sacking them ones because they don't like it. They don't like to be told what to do. And also, I think, like, for me, it seems like women take it better than men. I think men, like, they come with the idea of getting advice, and then they don't like getting advice because it's like, how dare another man tell me this? I'm also a lion. Right. And they'll go and put a picture of themselves on Facebook with, like, mess with me and you get bit. Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Them stupid lion memes. I think it's like this ego thing. Like, they don't, like... It's like the...
They think it's an attack on their, like, masculinity or something to be told by another man.
And it's like, look, bro, you fucking asked me to help you with this. Like, you don't know how to do it. So if I'm telling you how to do it right... Like, just fucking do it. And then it's like, they don't. And then they're like, oh, but I do it this way. I know you do it that way, man. That's why you're doing it shit. Listen, man. I'm not trying to tell you because I'm trying to make you think I'm better than you. I don't care about that. I'm trying to tell you because you asked how to get better at it, man.
I think it's hard for a lot of artists.
I'm speaking to about 5 people there. And if you think it's you, right, it's you. Sorry, bro.
You shit.
You're not shit. You just fucking won't listen. I've got love for them though. I get it though. You know, I'm not really judging. I'm just joking now.
It's hard. I think it's hard when you're an artist to like take your ego away from
take
art.
critiques. Yeah, I like it though. Like, and I've had people tell me, like, call me out on some of my bullshit, right? And yeah, it hurts. Like, but if you just listen and just like let your go and fucking patch your butt hurt up later on, you realize that they were actually right, and that like you get to grow after that. Like, so it's worth just. Go away, recover. If you need to recover, because I can be harsh with it, because I don't like to hold back. I think it's way more efficient to just tell the truth. And I value the truth. I value honesty and truth the most. Yeah. So it's like, it's way faster. It doesn't feel like it's the nicest way. But like, growth hurts sometimes, I guess, isn't it?
There's definitely no lube with you.
Oh, there's no lube, like. Sand. I use sand as the lube.
Oh, God.
I hope these people, if they do like watch it and think it's them, because you can't confirm.
If you think it's you, it is you.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, but you can't confirm that I actually am meaning you. I may be visualizing someone as I'm saying it, right? And it might be you. It might very well be you, bro. But you have no evidence that it definitely is. So if you think you are, you are.
It reminds us of that, like, you told us that the other week or the other day or something where you said you threw someone's CV out instantly because they voted in Comic Sans.
Yes.
I didn't even read
another thing that I didn't tell you about that. Yeah, so like this was a job for receptionist, because we had like one receptionist already and we needed a second one because it was so busy at the time. So I asked for like, who wants jobs, people? And like, people love jobs, like it seems. They're just like, yes, I'll do a job. Give me money. I want money. So it's like I got like honestly 40 odd CVs or something like that, and I'm going through them. I'm like, right, this one wants to be a tattoo artist. And I'm like, right, okay, yeah. It's Comic Sans. I'm like, bye. Didn't even look at it, and maybe that's a bad thing. But look, I've got 40 to go through, and I've got to wean them down to one. So like I can use the weakest things to wean it down. If you're using Comic Sans, like. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe you're a really funny guy. But I'm not looking for someone to be funny with this job. I'm looking for someone who knows how to do admin and knows how to do like these things. You know what I mean? Yeah. One of the things my friend Nathan said though, he goes, what you should do, and I didn't do this, but it's a funny idea. What you should do is like just take half of them and throw them in the bin, because you don't want someone who's unlucky working for you. I was like, whoa, that's genius.
That is really good.
And honestly, I think there might even be some truth to that.
Yeah. It's like the universe dealing with for you.
Yeah. But yes, that one went down to like someone who was... I seen that they definitely wanted to be an artist, because they had some drawings involved. But their like admin side was like their speciality kind of thing. And I'm like, right, okay. I got it down to like maybe 10 people to interview. I might be mixing two experiences here, actually. Okay, yeah, so one of the interview processes I did where I had people, they all came at the same time and I just went one after the other. Like whoever comes, it's like the interview started this time, come down and I'll interview you. And I'm weird, so I'm like, that time I'd set up like some stuff in the room and I'm like, right, so if you were to be tidying up in here, what would you do? And then they're like, what? I've just said tidy this room. Like, what are you going to tidy? And they're like, I guess that cup. Like, that's on its side. I'm like, okay, nice. I'd put that not on its side. I'm like, wouldn't put it in the bin, would you not? Wouldn't go and wash it, would you not? Do you know what I mean? It's like that. And that was when Ian came to work here, and he came in, and he's like, he said he came in and he sat in there, and it was like him amongst these like 9 lasses. And he's like, I've definitely not got this job, have I? I'm the only bloke. He goes, if I came to do a girl's job, he's like, God damn it. When he came through, I'm like, right, so if you were to tidy this room, what would you do? He goes, I'd tidy that up there. It looks like there's something spilled there. There's something on that shelf. I'd probably tidy that away. Like out the front, there was a Hoover there. I'm assuming that's got a place it could go on. I'm like, oh, out the front. I didn't even set that up. I'm like, nice. Yeah, this guy's got the job.
Or did you purposely set the scene?
I set a little scene in it. So pathetic in it. I just wanted to play interviews, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
I was playing shops.
Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy being an interviewer?
Yeah, a little bit. Not enough to like want to do it anymore, but like, because then the next time I had people come in like one at a time, and I'd like book them like in little 15-minute slots or something like that. And there was one lass who came like after she came for the first interview, she came for the second one as well. And it's like on CV, she knows how to write CVs, but it's like the real life interview, I'm like, oh, that's you, is it again? And I'm like, right, okay, so I interviewed you last time, haven't I? Yeah, like so I already know you, so like, you know, I'll just let you know, kind of thing. Because it was a no, like I knew it was a no, but it's like, oh my God.
That's weird. Going twice.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you
I don't know. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but what else was? I'm sure there's another funny thing from that interview thing. Oh, there was like one woman, like she came in for this interview and she thought she was better than me, like the way she was holding herself and the way she was saying things, and it's like, well, this is a no for sure. She's like looking down at me, kind of thing, and I'm like, fine, that's fine, but you don't have the job, obviously.
That's weird.
Yes, it is weird. Definitely don't go and look down on the person interviewing you.
I can imagine that's pretty scary getting interviewed off you, actually.
Yeah, because I'm weird, innit? So
weird
I just do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm unpredictable.
But CVs and stuff, like I remember when I was working with my mum and like they were helping us write my CV because I was going to apply for another job there as like a marketing
so again,
marketer.
though, do you think CVs are actually helpful, though?
Well,
like
I was just lying on mine, so like...
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, but they've got a place in corporate jobs where they require a CV and you're not getting an interview. But I still think if you have a conversation just on the street with the guy who's the boss at that place, you've got a better chance than anyone who sent a CV in. If you can see that you're like the guy who you've got a drive, or you've got like a want to do this thing, or you know, something about you that like helps.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so how does that relate to tattooing? Obviously, this is just doing a CV for this thing, but you're kind of interviewing a client when they come as well. And also, as a client, you're interviewing the tattooist when you first go in there. So I see a lot of things, like, you know that guy who was getting Angelique Hoodcamped? Yeah. Whatever. I don't know if we should mention that. Should we mention that? Should we block that out or not?
Oh, censor her name? Or?
Well, so... Okay, yeah, so this lass, she's made an Instagram of like tattoo artists, and I think it's all men, is it? Or it's like a high majority of men who have done like inappropriate things with their clients. And I think some may be jokes that have been taken wrong, but I think like that's quite a low percentage. Some of them are just legit being creeps, like and stuff like this. But when you hear some of the stories, like you hear like the first time the person went in to get the tattoo off this guy, the guy was a little bit inappropriate on that day.
Yeah.
And then they've went forward with it anyway, just give them the benefit of the doubt. And then it's got like further and further down until eventually he was like climbing on them doing weird stuff, or like has attempted to do something or has done something. And I think we need to like take those first interactions for like what they are. Like that first interaction is a sign. And of course, he shouldn't be doing that. Mm-hmm. But if you see it, like maybe just
what's he going to do? Like alone in a room?
Yeah, call it out on that day. Like don't go down it. Like it is an interview at the same time, I think. And I'm not blaming these people for getting this stuff because they should be able to be in an industry where you are safe and you treat like
it needs to be safe. It's
yeah. Like of course, that's what we like need to go towards. But I think like
you need to be vigilant as well.
Yeah, vigilant at the same time. I don't know. That's going to offend some people for sure. I know that. It will be. And I don't mean any offence by it. It's just like I've got to think that there are factors, and these are factors that we can.
You need to have a brain to like discern social situations and be like, okay, this is uncomfortable. I should stop going through with this.
Yeah. Because imagine that. Imagine if this guy, like every time he does something weird like that, they just go, "That's very uncomfortable. I'm not now getting tattooed by you. Goodbye."
Yeah.
He's going to be like, "What the fuck?" He's going to be like, "No, I'm sorry. Like, but eventually he would just stop, wouldn't he? He would have 100%. To. He wouldn't get to the point of like doing anything like extreme because like he gets shut down every time, and he's going to be like, "Right, okay, I should probably be."
But you can't like I think that's hard for people to do because no one wants to cause a scene. It's like that's going to be causing a scene. You just kind of go like, honestly,
I think we have to like. This is why I think I value like like truth and honesty and stuff like that. Like, and call it out. And I've probably done stuff where like people think it was inappropriate, and like I'm going to say at least 99% of the times I'll have been like joking. Maybe there was like 1% of the time where like I actually have like been attracted to the person and like, do you know what I mean?
Like read the signs wrong kind of thing.
Yeah, and it is inappropriate. It's like you shouldn't be like. But I've learned from these things. Do you know what I mean? I've processed these things like, and there's always processing to do on this. I know this is a heavy topic. This one, we've maybe moved away from this, but yeah.
How did we even get on it?
Interviews. Like I'm saying that it's an interview with the artist really, or you're interviewing the client at the same time. It's all like the first meetings are like these things. And you learn things. Like you just have to like trust yourself though. That if you're being made to feel uncomfortable, stop. There's something up with it. And that's from the client's point of view, from a tattooist point of view as well. Like you have clients who come in and they're just like, Can you do this thing? You know, like, and they start being awkward. Like, you know for a fact, like halfway through that sleeve, they're going to have a problem with it. Like, you can see on day one, like, whether it's going to be awkward or not. Honestly, this is a weird one, right? And this comes back to that, like, manifestation and magic and whatever, that kind of bullshit. But, like, I remember when Corrie, one of the girls who works here, she's an awesome artist now as well. She used to do the emails for us. And I remember just standing there being like, right, next. And she'd be like, right, so this person wants this thing. I'm like, right, okay, yeah, that's a yes. Booked them in for whenever, yeah. Next. And it's like, right, this person wants like, see, this one actually happened, right? This person wants like a pink rose. They've seen them roses that you do and they want this pink rose. And I'm like, that's a no. And then it's like, okay. Then the next person's like, right, this person also wants a pink rose that you've done. I'm like, that feels like a yes. I'm like, whoa, that was weird. How did I get like a no to a rose and then a yes to a rose? I'm like, okay, say yes to both, and I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Note down which one was which, and I want to see what happens on the day. But it comes to the day, and the person who I had that no feeling from is just like, pick an awkward day. It's like they turn up late maybe, or they turn up and they've got like an attitude, or they've changed their idea, or they've changed the location, or like any of the things, or they can't sit, or do you know what I mean? Any of the things. And the person who was the instant yes feeling was just like mint, and they get it. And I actually know who it was. I don't know who the no person was, because it's just like, I don't really focus on the bad days. I think it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But that's getting a bit esoteric then, I guess, isn't it? Because I'm saying that you can feel it without even reading the email or without even meeting the person.
Vibes and stuff.
Vibes. I believe in vibes, right? Yeah, I'm going to say it. I fucking believe in vibes, isn't it?
Well, this podcast will probably go on to that topic every time.
It's going to, yes. We might as well just admit it now. So if you're not into vibes, bro, just take this vibe that you're not into it. It's not going to be for you, isn't it? I think I'll probably tell people not to watch this more than I tell them to watch it. Oh.
I know how many times in this episode have you said, if you don't like it, fuck off.
Yeah. More than once. Yeah, more than thrice, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine. I'm not bothered. You know, you don't have to watch our podcast, do you? So how many? Oh, I also had a picture of how many followers we've got now. I think it was 17. 17
nice.
Followers on YouTube already. That's pretty good, isn't it? After one pod. I don't know how many watches we've had. I think it was like 200 or something, maybe. I could look at it on there, but I can't be bothered. It's like, so I'll click it. Oh god, I've started it. See all the slow scroll. Yeah, fuck that.
Is it because it's recording?
Probably. And now I'm risking it like breaking by doing this, aren't I?
Yeah.
I do like it though. It's fun. Do you enjoy the podcast so far? Even though we've only done 2 and I've mostly just talked shit for both of them. Let us know down in the comments below.
Soy face.
Soy face. He definitely eats soy, I'm like, for sure. Your channel. We have 277 views and 17 subscribers.
That's cute.
Who are all legends, by the way.
Yeah. One of them's
all
me.
Legends. One of them's you, is it?
Yeah.
Right, so there's 16 legends and one moron on there, one noob. You didn't introduce yourself as Sophie the Noob Jackson this time. Jackson.
You didn't even introduce yourself?
I'm Thanks Hunting, by the way.
I'm Thanks.
No, you're not. I'm Thanks. Stop stealing me. You copy me so much.
I did say I was the master last podcast as well.
Exactly. Get a grip, will you?
Yeah.
I think I'm the one who needs to get a grip. Right, so are we going to talk about anything else, or do you think that's a pod?
How long has it been going on for?
49 minutes.
What's the one? Is that an hour?
No, that's just we're on the first hour. Don't you worry about that stuff.
Why is it not 0? Is it? Oh.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter,
Ask Apple.
Well, do you want to talk about something else or not?
I don't know. If you've got anything cool to say it now. Otherwise, we're going to stop. Oh, here's one of my t-shirts. Look, I've got a vintage Standard and Podcast t-shirt on. No, it's a vintage Standard Tattoo Studio t-shirt on. And every time I put one of these on, I remember that I haven't sent them t-shirts to Gemma. I honestly, just because I've had some bank situation going on, so I haven't been able to order them. I also ordered... Well, no, in fact, I did order the t-shirt, but it came with Jew stuff on the back of it.
Oh, the one I've got.
Have you got it? Can you take a photo of that so I can send it to people? So one side is a Thandon Podcast t-shirt. It's not Thandon Podcast, man. It's Thandon's Tattoo Studio t-shirt. And the other side is Jew stuff.
It's like really dramatic. It's got an upside down like crucifix on it, and then it's got like when the Jews return to Zion and the sea dries to dust, and it's like a really weird dramatic poem.
Oh, Jews, calm down, bro. I've got nothing against Jews, though, obviously. But I think it's funny because someone's definitely bought a Jew t-shirt and it's just got like Thandon Tattoo Studio stuff on the back, like a picture of that frog.
It's going to have like an epic. You want to have like an epic like lion or something on the front to be like. Because it's that vibe, isn't it? It's the Facebook meme vibe where it's like, don't mess with my family because if you like mess with the bull, you get the horns. And I was born in February, you know, that kind of. It's like really specific. Yeah,
they're going to have ordered that, and it's going to come with some cartoon thing on the back of it. And they're just going to be like, what the fuck? They're going to be like offended by it, and we're just like, huh? I'm like, am I going to wear this? What did I do? I give it to you.
Well,
to
I remember I was like, oh,
something.
sweet Jew t-shirt.
Oh, nice Jew shirt, bro.
It's my comfy t-shirt now.
Do I have to block that word out? Are you allowed to say that word?
What, Jew?
Yeah, if you're not one.
I don't know.
I think you're being the most offensive to it because you're laughing at it. I'm not laughing at it. I take Jews very seriously.
I don't.
Oh, God. Okay, that's the end of this one.
Yeah.
Before
there's another rabbit hole going down.
Goodbye.
Bye. The Jew episode.